Happy Friday, St. Peter's. It is our Spirit Day. I have my St. Peter's t-shirt on. It's High Five Friday. Are you ready? High five. Sound effects and all. You're welcome. I've seen a lot of you put up your spirit wear. That is fantastic. I saw Owen. I saw Scarlett with her spirit clothes on. I saw Noah and JD. I saw Joshua and Charlotte. And I'm sure there are going to be many, many more of you as the day goes on. And I will keep checking in. I love to see what you're doing. Just like I love when you send me what you do after library time. So if you watched on Wednesday's story when we talked about the helpers, I told you at the end that we are going to do something magical today. And that is true. Our little project at the end for Creation Station will be pretty cool. I think you're going to like it. But first we're going to read our story. So I have my friend Ralph, here he is, and his monkey friend, who I just realized doesn't have a name. If you think you have a good name for him, just put it in the comments and we'll pick which one we like the best. How about that? I also have Joy here. Our pig of Joy is here, and she's going to come back a little bit later to tell you something we're going to start doing to help spread some joy. Okay? So right now, let's get ready for our story. So get everybody, say, come on, it's library time. Get your stuffed animals. Like I saw Maddie loves to have her stuffed animals with her. Noah brings his lizard. We got all kinds of stuff going on during this story time. So bring your pets, your stuffed animal friends, your family, your brothers and sisters, moms and dads, whoever wants to hear a story. Or maybe it's just you. If it's just you, then cozy on up and be ready for our story. How do we get ready? First, we've got to turn up our ears so we're ready to listen. Then we turn off our mouths so we don't make a sound. Put your hands quietly in your lap and take a nice big deep breath. And now we're ready for our story. Well, this week is the first week of spring. I think you might have noticed by some of the changes in our weather this week. It's been pretty nice. We get to go outside and get some fresh air, play in the backyard, maybe ride your bike in the driveway, things like that. So I'm going to read you a story about the spring. And then our magical project that I promised is going to be spring themed. That's the only thing I'm going to tell you. Don't try to get more out of me. So today our story is called Hopper Hunts for Spring. And our author is Marcus Pfister. Marcus Pfister, I've heard that name before. Do you remember? Maybe not. But I do think that you will know the book that he wrote. He also wrote the books about rainbow fish. So he wrote Rainbow Fish and Rainbow Fish Finds a Friend, all of those great things. Was also by Marcus Pfister. So I think we're really going to like this. There's our friend Hopper looking for spring. Let's see if he finds it. I hope so. Wake up, Hopper, said his mama. The snow is beginning to melt. Spring is coming at last. Oh, great, said Hopper excitedly. Someone new to play with. I'll go and meet him. Before his mother could explain that spring isn't a person, Hopper was bounding away across the thin carpet of snow. Oh, silly Hopper. He thinks spring is a person. The snow had started to melt, and blades of grass were pushing through it, reaching for the sun. In one place where the snow had completely melted, Hopper found a hole next to a heap of earth. Hello? Is anyone home? He called. I see a little beetle. I don't think that's who lives there. Do you know who lives in a hole like that? Maybe who would dig a tunnel? Well, maybe. Let's find out. Maybe this is where spring lives, thought Hopper, squeezing himself into the hole. Inside, a dark tunnel sloped down into the earth. Hopper crept slowly down the tunnel. He couldn't see anything in the dark. Then he bumped into something soft. I wonder who it is. Hello, said Hopper. You must be Spring. What are you doing in this tunnel? Spring? Me? said a voice. No, I'm a mole, and this is my tunnel. What are you doing here? I'm looking for Spring. A mole is in that tunnel. Is that what you thought it might be? This is a mole. See how he has a very small eye? He doesn't see very well. That's why they don't mind being in the dark underground. But look at his claws. They are made for digging. So their claws are very long and very sharp, so they can dig down into the earth. But is that Spring? No, that's a mole. I don't know where Spring lives, said the mole as they crawled out into the open air, but his home must be larger than this. Try the big cave on the other side of the fence. Goodbye, Mole, and thank you, said Hopper, scampering eagerly away. Hopper soon found the cave. He peeped nervously inside. Near the back was something big and brown. What could it be? What do you think it is? Oh, I think you might be right. Let's find out. Wake up, Spring. It's me, Hopper. Mama and I are waiting for you. Why must I wake up? Growled a deep voice. Is winter over? Anyway, I'm not Spring, my little friend. Why not? Well, because I'm a bear. Did you guess bear? Uh-huh, it's a bear. Why are you sleeping in this cave? Asked Hopper. I always sleep here in winter. When the first snow falls, I crawl inside and I don't wake up until spring comes. Hopper thought for a minute. Then he said, My mama says Spring is coming today. Do you know where he lives? I want to go and meet him. The bear ambled up to the mouth of the cave and sniffed the air. You're right. It does smell of spring. And if I'm not mistaken, the smell is coming from up there in the tree. Perhaps that's where Spring lives. I don't know about that. Let's find out. They ran over to the tree. Wait here, said the bear. I'll take a look. The bear clambered nimbly into the branches. Then he put one paw into a hole in the tree. Bears are very good climbers. Honey, he said, smacking his lips, the perfect breakfast. I'm hungry after that long sleep. Spring doesn't seem to live here, though. The bear climbed down again. Meanwhile, Hopper started to feel hungry, too. They sat down together and licked the delicious honey from the bear's paw. I'm not going to look for Spring anymore, sighed Hopper. I'm too tired. We'll just have to wait until he comes. Let me take you home, said the bear kindly. I need to stretch my legs. They are still stiff from a whole winter's sleep. Come on, little one. Climb onto my back and make yourself comfortable. How nice. Night was falling when they found Mama Hare. There you are, Hopper, she said. I was getting worried. I didn't find Spring, Mama. He wasn't in the hole in the ground, or the bear's cave, or the hollow tree. I don't know where he's hiding. But Hopper, you can't go out and meet Spring, his mama said softly. Spring isn't an animal. It's just the time of year when the air gets warmer, the snow melts, and the flowers start to bloom. Oh, said Hopper, disappointed. Don't be sad. You did find a new friend, said his mother. Hopper crept close to Mama and waved goodbye to the bear. Come back soon, he called after him. We can play together all through the spring. Wasn't that nice? Even though he didn't find Spring, because we know Spring is not an animal or a person, he did meet a new friend. So Mama showed us or told him some ways to know when spring is coming. And it all has to do with what's going on outside, right? So first she said the air starts to feel warmer. Have you noticed that we're not wearing our mittens and our scarves or our big stocking caps anymore? And then she said, the snow starts to melt. Guess what? There's no snow out my window. That's the second sign of spring. The third sign of spring that she said is the flowers start to bloom. Well, maybe some of you have seen some flowers blooming. There could be some daffodils or crocuses are the little short ones that you see on the ground. A lot of them are purple. The daffodils are yellow. Those come out pretty soon. So if you haven't seen any, keep an eye out because that's your final clue that shows you that spring has arrived. So we are going to do something magical to make some flowers bloom today. But we have to get them prepared first. So first we're going to make a couple flowers and then I'm going to show you how to make them bloom. Okay? So I've made some. I have these flowers I made out of paper. I just drew and I colored them. I'm going to show you how. Don't panic. Do you see how they're different shapes? Okay. I've also made some on paper towels because this is for fast magic. Regular paper, notebook paper, or computer paper, that is for patience. Okay? It's still magical, but you need some patience for that one. So if you draw and try to cut out on like a big paper towel like this, cutting it gets a little tricky to make these round edges of our flower. So what I have done is I've cut out squares of the paper towel and I drew my flower on the square so that when I go to cut it out, I'm only holding a little piece of paper and it makes it a lot easier to turn because remember we try to turn our paper instead of turning our arms because our arms don't go all the way like that, but our paper can, so we turn our paper. So that just makes it easier to try to cut it out, okay? So now, I'm going to show you a couple ways to make the flowers that I've made, but then you might make flowers a different way, and that's okay. But that's where we're going to start, and then I'll show you the magic. All right? So if you want to start by making just these round flowers like I made, that's pretty easy because you all know how to do circles. Everybody does circles. So we're just going to make a circle for the center. That's what I do for all my flowers. I do a circle in the center. And then around that circle, you are going to put another circle like that. And then right next to that one, it can even overlap a little bit. You're going to make another circle and another circle all the way around, as many as it takes, okay? You might have more than me. You might have less. See how a little bit has overlapped? Don't worry about that. That's okay. That means your petals are nice and tight together. And then you're going to color them in. Now you can color the whole thing one color. You can change colors. You can make it a rainbow flower. You can do whatever you want. You can put patterns in your flowers. Okay, that's for the circle flower. You could also try another flower like I made, making another center. I made like this one is kind of like a sunflower, a spiky flower. So then you just take your crayon and you just go like this. You go out and then come back down. And then you go out and you go back in. You go out and you go back. And guess what? They don't have to all be the same size petal. How about that? See? And then you cut around those. Color them in. Okay? I'm not going to color the whole thing in. And then the one other kind of flower I made, here's my center, a circle. I made one with using rectangles. Okay? So you take your crayon to make a rectangle. You start there and you just go all the way around. Okay? And for this one, I didn't put them so tight together. I just kind of made another one right there. You can turn your paper if you want, if that's easier, to keep making your rectangles all the way around. Like that. That's pretty cool. And then you color it in, and then you cut around the petals. Okay? The next step, once you've cut them out, you're going to take your petals and you're going to push them in toward the center. So you're going to use one hand to pinch it and the other hand to push it down. And you can put it down flat on the table if you need to. or maybe someone else can hold it as you push them down. That's okay. I'm gonna go all the way around like this. See? So when I put it in my hand, it's okay if it pops open just a little bit. It's like a little, sorry, can't see in it. It's like a little flower bud, okay? It's gonna be just like that. And then you can take your paper towel ones and do the same thing. You're gonna pinch, put it together and pinch, fold it in and pinch, 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 and pinch. See that? And you got a little flower blossom pocket. Okay, so then we're gonna take those. I'm gonna move my camera a little bit here, so bear with me. And you're going to see that I have this bowl, okay? And I'm gonna put some water in it. Now you could do this in your kitchen. Pouring my water in my bowl. It's very exciting. Here's where the magic starts. Are you ready for this? Prepare to be amazed. I'm going to start with my little yellow flower. Now see how there's the flat bottom. That's the part I'm going to put onto the surface of the water. Okay, here it goes. Set it on there and watch what happens. Do you see it? It's starting to open up. It's starting to blossom almost right away. Now that one is going to take a little bit of time for all of the petals to open because it's made of a thicker paper. So it takes a little longer for all of the water to absorb it. But watch what happens while we'll come back and check on that one. Now I'm going to put in the paper towel one, but you have to be ready. Are you watching? Because it's going to be really fast. Okay, are you watching? Here it goes. Did you see that? Isn't that awesome? Now the paper towel absorbs water a lot faster. So that's why it opened up right away. But see our other one, let's pull them into the middle so we can see him better. Look at how much he's opening up. You want to see the other ones? I'll get them ready for you. So now I tried this using markers, but what happened was I think it made the paper too heavy and it made my flowers sink right to the bottom when I first tried this experiment. So it didn't really work. They didn't open up all the way. They just sunk plop to the bottom. So you can try it with markers, but I found crayons would be the best. And you could use colored pencils too if you have them. Okay, here's my other paper flower. Here we go. Bloop. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's starting to open. It's magic. There it goes. I have one more. While that one's opening, I have one more paper towel flower that's going to be super fast. You ready? Here it goes. Wow! Look at that. And our other flowers. Well, let's get this guy out of the way. So they're running into each other now. They're so amazingly opening. All right, well, this one finishes up. I'm going to show you one more thing, and then I'll show you exactly how they all look at the very end. There's one more thing we're going to do, boys and girls. I had this great idea. You've been doing such a nice job. We made pictures to thank our parents and brighten up our houses. So when people saw it, we could smile. And some of you are making thank you helper signs for your doors. We made cool projects with circles. So my pig of joy gave me this idea because she always brings me some joy. I thought, what is a simple way that all of us could do something from our homes to spread some joy? So we made this today. Look at this. This is what I like to call the jar of joy. And everything inside, I started it, but you're going to help me, okay? So I have put some things inside. See that paper rolling around? They're all ideas of how we can spread the joy from home. So if you have any ideas of what we could do to spread the joy from home, put them in the comments. I will write them down. I'll put your name on them. I'll stick them in this jar, and we'll see who we pull after each library time at the end, okay? So today we're going to pull one that I put in here. I put in a few ways that I thought about how we could spread the joy. Let's see what this one's going to say. This one says, tell someone why they're awesome. All right? So find someone that you know. It can be someone in your house, or you could call someone on the phone. It could be your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. You could call your grandma. Call them, talk to them. You can tell more than one person. Probably the more joy you spread, the better you're going to feel too. So tell someone why they're awesome. That is great. I think you guys are awesome for doing this. All right, you want to see those flowers one more time to see how they ended up? Our beautiful water bouquet of flowers. Okay, I'm bringing you on down. Here they are. Look at that. They all opened up. Isn't that awesome? So you could experiment if you want to try to use tissue paper or like an envelope, any other kind of paper, see what works. It's like a cool experiment. You can use your crayons. You can use your colored pencils. Like I said, go ahead and try markers. The markers do, if they're washable markers, you'll see the ink come off in the water, which that's pretty cool to watch. But the flowers, I don't know, maybe you have to use different paper than I did to make them open up as well. So you do some experiments and you have all weekend, you know. You won't see me again until Monday. So I hope you had a great time with our magical project today. We'll be back with something new and exciting on Monday. And until then, stay safe, stay healthy, keep spreading your joy, right? I miss you and I love you all, and we'll see you on Monday.